The elections are coming. 2 weeks ago, the Elections Department announced that the Electoral Boundaries Review Committee has been formed, officially kicking off a process that could see the next general election, or GE, being held in a matter of months. The next GE must be held by 15 April 2021, but observers say it is likely to be much earlier, with April and May after the budget next year as one possible window. So with an election around the corner, how ready are the political parties here? A common refrain from the ruling People's Action Party is that preparation for the next contest starts the day after one GE ends. At the 2015 polls, the PAP won 83 out of 89 available seats. Since then, its MPs say they have been pounding the ground almost every day, with many of them reporting that they're in their third round of block visits. Beyond block visits, however, PAP MPs also have to ensure that residents' concerns are being heard and that something is being done about them. My colleagues and I did a few checks with several PAP MPs who said a lot of the pledges promised in their last manifesto are mostly fulfilled. But perhaps the most obvious sign that the PAP is all systems go for an election is how prominent its new faces are. The party refreshes its MP ranks with about 20 plus candidates every GE. In recent elections, the PAP has taken care that as many candidates as possible are involved in grassroots early and not parachuted in at the last minute. While the Straits Times is keeping tabs on potential new faces, the reality is that only about half the usual slate of 25 or so candidates have been prominent on the ground. Of course, it is still the prerogative of the party's leader, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, to make changes leading up to nomination day. This has led some observers to believe the election will be next year, not the end of this year. What about the other parties then? While there are a record 11 opposition parties set to contest the election, we look at the three biggest ones. The Workers' Party is the only opposition party with presence in Parliament. Like the PAP, it has been canvassing the heartlands consistently every week. Sources also say that they have started preparing for their logistics by holding several volunteer recruitment drives, sourcing for transport providers, and even making their famous powder blue shirts for their candidates. There is, however, a question mark hovering over the fate of Aljunied GRC, which the WP retained by a razor-thin margin at the last election. 3 of the MPs are embroiled in 2 multi-million-dollar lawsuits concerning their work in Aljunied Hougang Town Council, and it is unclear how this would affect the lineup, if at all. Then there is the 39-year-old Singapore Democratic Party, helmed by Dr. Chee Soon Juan. While some parties like to keep their cards close to their chest, the SDP has declared it will contest in the same 5 constituencies as the last GE. It has also revamped its website, said it will launch its manifesto later this month, and that it has planned a pre-election rally next month. The question for the SDP is, will Dr. Chee continue to play a dominant role? And if so, how will that pan out for the party's electoral fortunes? Finally, there is the newcomer Progress Singapore Party, led by an ex-PAP stalwart, Dr. Tan Cheng Bock. He told the Straits Times that if the GE was called next month, the party would be able to field a few candidates comprising experienced professionals, former civil servants, and government scholars. For now, there looks to be some time to the polls, but the countdown has been set, and parties should be putting the final touches to their legwork. It's time for voters to also start considering their options.